It's time to make our family budget plan for next month again. Is it just me, or do months fly by on YouTube? I mean, seriously, it feels like yesterday that we were over $300,000 in debt, and we're in the last third. So today I'm going to show you our real budget plan with our real numbers for next month. So come along with me and see how we budget. Hi, I'm Wendy Valencia. If you're new to these parts, welcome. My husband Mauricio and I have been budgeting for well over a decade now, and about 3 years ago we started paying off our debt, and we have paid off, hold on, let me go check. Y'all, we have paid off $208,000, and holy cow, I just realized that we're actually under $100,000. And actually, I was planning on putting out a whole video about our debt payoff to date next week, so this is very timely. I swore from the beginning that when we got under $100,000 of debt left that I would probably break down into tears, but honestly, debt just annoys me now. So actually, I think I'm more irritated and annoyed than wanting to cry. But honestly, in spite of the fact that I am totally annoyed by debt, we are currently just making our self-imposed minimums to debt and saving cash for a down payment on this house. We're buying my parents' house from them. And if that freaks you out, not to worry, you are not alone. Okay, so that was a fun little unplanned diversion. So let's get this bad boy started. So in July, we have $11,301 of income actually coming into our bank account. And remember, that number is lower than our actual income because we have so many things taken out before it makes it to our bank account. And we started contributing to our retirement again to get the minimum match. So in our utilities category, we are spending $462. That's $270 for our storage unit and $172 for our cell phones and $20 for Skype. And two questions I get asked all the time are, one, why we pay for Skype. And that's because we use it to call Mauricio's parents. And since they don't have internet in their home, Mauricio and I have to call them on their cell phones. So we use Skype to do that because that's the most economical way to do that. So we don't get charged for Skype very often, but as you know me, I'd rather have too much than not enough. So just in case we get that $20 charge from Skype, it is already there. And the other question that I get asked constantly is why we have a storage unit. And this question I get asked so much that I actually have it always down in the description box as a full video. So if you want to go check that out, I walk through every single step and I run the math and I explain why it's cost effective for us still to have that storage unit. In the food category, we're planning on spending $700. That's $600 for groceries and $100 for eating out. So why are we putting money in the eating out category? Well, one, it seems to be that lately we're going to do it anyway, so let's put at least a little bit of money in there so we're not completely decimating our budget. And two, this is also in case we decide to go out to dinner for our 11-year wedding anniversary, which is coming up very soon, and I'm going to talk more about that a little later. In the automotive category, we are spending $270. That's $200 for gas because one, it keeps creeping on up every single month, and two, now that Mauricio is back in school all the time, we actually are not commuting together, so I am driving the gas guzzler of an expedition. And as you know me, I'd much rather have too much than not enough in the budget, so I have over budgeted for gas this month. And that also includes $70 for the Easy Pass, which is our local toll road system, which we seem to use sporadically, and I never know when it's going to charge us. Did I mention that I'd rather have too much than not enough? In the insurance category, we are planning on spending $469.81, and that is $219 for car and renters insurance, $200 for my life insurance, $35.81 for Mauricio's life insurance, and $12 for CMFG life insurance. Who here has been around long enough to remember that $12 used to really irritate me? Because I thought it was tied to our big Navy Federal Bank loan, which we paid off like last year, I think. I don't know. It did used to annoy me a lot. In the childcare category, we are spending $707, and that's us paying for 3 weeks of summer SAC. So for 5 weeks of the summer, Melina is going to lots of different camps. 2 weeks she'll be in Colombia with us, and then 3 weeks she's going to summer SAC, which is like school-age childcare in Fairfax County. So those 5 weeks, we have already actually paid for them, but you can't pay ahead for SAC. So this $707 is the SAC payments for summer SAC. In the medical category, we have $400. Why? Because I'm getting smart and looked ahead to see what medications need refills and what doctors and dentist appointments we have coming up. And then I put a little bit of extra in. And I'm hoping that for once, we will not have any medical surprises. But I say that every month, and every month we have medical surprises. So for right now, I have $100 for Mauricio, $200 for Melina, and $100 for me. And in the clothing category, we have nothing. In the Melina category, we have $680 planned, and that is $280 for Spanish classes, $100 for swim stuff. And I'm putting that in there because this is our first year on swim team, and I honestly don't know what we're going to have to spend money on. And I don't want to be surprised, so, you know. Then we have $300 in there for school supplies, like buying the kit from the PTO and a dress and a backpack and all that random stuff that you get for the first day of school. In the Mauricio school category, we don't have any expenses, but as you all know, this could change. I do film a couple of weeks out. I know Mauricio is going to need to register for classes coming up in the fall, and he has mentioned he wants to take 3 classes this time, but that's going to be around $2,000, and honestly, I think he should stick with 2 classes, but that is a discussion we will have during our budget meeting. So there could be a possibility that I'm going to have to pay for these classes in July instead of August when he would normally register. So we'll see. In the work expenses category, we have nothing. In the miscellaneous category, we have $100, and that $100 is our cushion because we know stuff's going to come up and we don't want to be surprised. In the YouTube category, we have $1,038.50, which I know is a lot, so let's go over it. We have $4.50 for TubeBuddy, $6 for Backblaze, $9 for Morning Fame, $19 for Later, and then we also have $1,000 in there to pay the woman who is helping me with my website. I sent her my plans a while back, but she got really ill and ended up in the hospital. So while she's getting healthy, we've just kind of put everything on hold. And since I have no idea how much those expenses are going to be, I figured I'd put $1,000 in. And if we need to spread it out over a couple of months, we can do that. Then in our straight up luxuries category, we have $755.93, which I'm going to be honest, it makes me a little nauseated just to think that we have almost $800 worth of stuff that we could just take out of the budget. But honestly, it's money that keeps us moving forward. So no matter how much I want to pay off debt and save and everything, I know that I need to have some money in this category. So let's go over it. We have $200 for Blow Money, $35 for iTunes, $14.95 for Audible, which is another one of my most frequently asked questions. And I use Audible for my book club, which is almost always a current book that I can't get from the library right away. I have to get on the wait list, and I can never get it in time for book club, so that's why I use Audible. But all the rest of my books, I use Overdrive or Libby, and I just get them from the library for free. Then we have $3.99 for Amazon Music, 99 cents for Hulu, $100 for family fun, $100 for our cushion, because we always go over in this category. So I'm going to be safe rather than sorry. And $300 for torch replacements. Huh? Torch replacements? So yeah, my parents have these really, really beautiful tiki torches out on their deck, and they're made of glass with like a teak base and nickel plated holder, and they're so sleek and pretty, and they just look so elegant. And my mom got them like years and years and years ago at Plow and Hearth, and they're filled with like a citronella oil, so when you burn them, it keeps mosquitoes away from you when you're sitting on the deck. And if you know anything about Virginia, there's a lot of mosquitoes on all the time. And so a few weeks ago, when we were getting the deck summer ready, Mauricio got the torches out and went to fill them up, and I guess they got super slippery with oil, and he dropped some and they shattered. And so we need to replace them. But hey, accidents happen, and it's the right thing to do. So the one thing you're not going to see here is our anniversary, and that's because the only thing we're going to do is maybe go out for dinner, and we haven't even really decided that. Last year we went on our big 10-year anniversary trip, which was to a yurt. We went glamping, and I did a whole video on that. That was super fun. But that was our 10th wedding anniversary. This is our 11th. So, we're not really going to give each other any gifts or anything like that. Maybe by the time we get to our 15th wedding anniversary, Mauricio will be out of school and we'll be out of debt, and we can do something amazing and awesome. But for now, we're doing nothing. In the beauty category, we have $650. All that $650, 25 of it is for Mauricio's hair, and the rest of the 650 is for me. So it's time for me to get a professional cut, color, and highlights, which I only do about every 18 months. And this is what it costs in a nice salon in this area. And that's why Mauricio colors my hair himself. 18 months ago, I actually attempted to go to like a cheapo hair salon. I don't want to mention the company, but think $20 haircuts. And it was a disaster. I was so ridiculously upset with my hair. It got so brassy so quickly, and it was too light for my complexion, and I'm not going to make that mistake again. So as a result, I'm going to pay the price of a small car to get my hair colored, I think. And I've got it set up that I am having a girlfriend of mine do some headshots for me at no cost, and she's going to use the headshots for advertising. And so I'm going to go ahead and get my hair professionally done right before I get those headshots done. But what is really so funny about this whole thing is that when I went in for my consultation, because when you pay the price of a small car, they make you come in for a consultation before you have your appointment, which is kind of awesome. So they had me fill out this whole form with like what I wanted done, and to help the colorist decide what direction she needed to go. And I said I wanted to have corrective color and highlights and add some shine to my hair. And when I sat down in the chair, she looks at me and she was like, I see that you want corrective color, but why? Your hair is gorgeous. So where do you get your hair done now, and why do you not want them to keep doing it? And I told her that my husband actually colors my hair, and she's like, oh, is he a professional hairdresser? And I was like, yeah, no, we learned from YouTube how to color hair. And she was like, wow, you really trained him well. So for all of that, it's like $625, because they did actually tell me the price ahead of time. And it's going to be like $5 something, but then I'll have to tip and everything. So they're going to do a cut, color, highlights, toner, and then they're going to do a gloss treatment, because honestly, the one thing that I don't like about my hair is that it needs more shine, because all the coloring, it really kind of makes it very matte. And so we're going to do a gloss treatment to make it shine. So in our sinking funds category, we have $1,900 designated for various sinking funds. That's $1,000 for our trip to Colombia in August, $200 for summer camp, $150 for medical, $100 for car repair and replace, $300 for Christmas, $100 for an emergency trip to Columbia, $50 for miscellaneous school expenses, and we don't have anything going to the work travel fund or the emergency fund because both of those are fully funded. In the giving category, we are giving $600. And as you know, I don't go over our giving category other than the total amount. And in the debt payoff category, we are putting $1,849.56 towards our debt this month. And these are our self-imposed minimums, which are more than our actual minimum payments. And that's $465 toward our car, which just dropped below $10,000. So there's like a ton of debt payoff celebrations today. And then we're putting $1,200 towards our big loan and $184.56 towards Mauricio's school loan. And in the big loser category this month, we have $724.94 that's going to pay for our house down payment. And that'll put us at a total of $5,242.07 saved for this house. And if we're going to have any hopes of meeting our goals, we need to step it up. We're trying to get to $40,000 for our down payment. But needless to say, we need to pick up the pace a lot, like a lot, because when the time comes for my parents to go, I want to have at least 5% down because Navy Federal, for the best loan with the best rates, you only need to have 5% down. And Navy Federal doesn't charge PMI, so we don't have to worry about having that 20% down to get rid of PMI. So yeah. And then once we buy the house, we'll actually have, with 5% down, like 30% in equity in the house automatically. So we don't want the time to come to buy this house and not have the 5%, because if we don't have the 5%, we're putting the house on the market. And that'll screw up my parents and it'll be a whole thing. And if we put the house on the market, then we're going to have to find a place to live, and it won't be in this school district because there are no apartments in this school district and all the houses are really freaking expensive. So, and there's no townhouses or anything like that. So our only option is to leave the school district and put Melina in a different school. And I honestly think Mauricio and I will be discussing this a lot, because at our next budget meeting, we've got to pick up the pace. Because let's be honest here, we've got a lot of fluff in our budget this month. I mean, a lot. I'm spending $625 on my hair, and I know it. So if you want to see where I talk about why we're stopping paying off debt and buying my parents' house and our whole financial plan, I'm going to point you right up here where I break it all down. And for you budget nerds, it is math heavy, so you'll probably enjoy it. So I'll see you in the next one. See ya. We're out.